eSports here on the Hotspot Show. I got my buddy Ken Nicholas and Eric Bloss, who is joining us all the way from Portland, Oregon? Where you're at, Eric?
Yeah, Portland, Oregon.
Portland, okay.
Yeah, just for now.
Okay, so we're talking about some really good tryouts now, auditions, if you will. So, Eric, maybe you can try out for the Blazers while you're up there.
Oh God, I wish. I think my knees they're terrible. I can't jump 2 feet.
Well, certainly you guys have your hands full with tryouts because Ken, you have two very, very big events coming up for people who have a passion for gaming and who literally are upper echelon gamers. So break that down for me.
Sure. Well, there's two events coming up, two tryouts, if you will, on the weekend of the 19th, 20th, and the 21st. We have our tryouts for UOG Tryouts eSports. This coming semester, we're forming another collegiate roster to compete against other D1 schools in the nation. So if you are a full-time student at the University of Guam, eSports is your thing. You want to try it for a number of different games. Please go to our website. It's esports.uog.edu/tryouts. Or you can go to our social media and you can find a link directly to tryout registration. You have to register to try out. It's open to all full-time students of the university. And there are different things, like even maybe the gaming, maybe the playing isn't your thing, but you're interested in internships or different facets of it, like commentating or production or maybe even just marketing. If you're interested in specific internships focused on esports, we do provide those as well. So, just you can DM us on our social media. You can email me directly, or you can just put that information on your tryout form. The next thing, the following weekend, which would be the 27th and the 28th, is a big one. This is a really big one. You don't have to go to the university, but you do have to fulfill a certain number of requirements. But it is the national tryouts for the Guam Esports Federation, and that's what Eric's here. Eric can expound more on what that tryout will entail.
Yeah, absolutely. So first ever, we are the Guam Esports Federation. We are members of the Global Esports Federation. They're the recognized body by the International Olympic Committee for esports right now. So we got membership back in March, and the opportunity came about for the games coming up in Istanbul, Turkey. And so this would be the first ever to represent Guam on a national level, just for the glory of the island, much how traditional sports that go up to SPGs, the Olympics, etc. This would be the first of its kind for esports for the island. So I think this is a great opportunity for everyone. We encourage everyone to join. The eligibility requirements are you must be 16 and older, lived on the island at some point, proven residency for about 5 years, and must hold a US passport. But yeah, it's really exciting. We're really happy to announce that. Looking forward to it. It's August 27th, right, Ken? And 28th?
Yep, August 27th and August 28th. And they're free. Both of the tryouts are totally free.
Yep.
Okay, now and I like the word free, but also because this is like upper echelon, top of the food chain stuff. So kind of talk about like the caliber of play, because like Ken, you said and I don't want to bury this lead, but UOG esports athletes are going up against Division I, because we play over the internet, so you can play anywhere, but you're going against possibly not just kids in the region, or not just students in the region, I should say, but you could potentially play Hawaii gamers, Duke gamers, USC gamers, people in the Northeast, right?
And we do.
Eric, you can jump in for that too. Is like, what is the caliber like on an international scale? So go ahead, Ken.
So well, at the collegiate level, that is what we do. We do compete against D1 schools, and the University of Guam has fared relatively well in a number of the games that we do play. We're top 16 in the nation for Smash. We've beaten schools like Texas A&M, University of Houston, Cal State Pomona, just different schools across the West Coast. And then the national opportunity, which Eric is really forming here, is great, because sure, at the collegiate level, there's a certain level of play, right? But this is not professional play. The people who will represent the nations at the international stage, these are like the 1% of the gaming population. They're really good players who represent the top teams around the world. But
these are like Top Gun gamers, right?
Yeah, okay, that's a good one.
That's the best too, without Eric
Yeah,
Roberts.
exactly. Instead of representing like a brand, though, they represent the nation. So you'll find, just the interesting mix of people, and this opportunity that Eric has presented here is a prime opportunity for, an esports athlete from Guam to test their chops versus someone, it's an opportunity that you probably would never really get. So it's a great opportunity there.
Okay, Eric, what is the caliber like on a more global scale and everything? Because everybody knows, like under Ken's tutelage, the Guam esports community has really like made ourselves known. It's like, wow, those Guam guys can play, and girls. But when we take this to a more international stage and everything like that, how is the caliber of play different?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Ken's a pioneer in the community, him and Barry Hernandez, and Guam. If you're ever a gamer, Guam has amazing potential for the esports athletes, and I think we can contend at that world level, at the global level. It's definitely more sustainable to keep our athletes at that caliber, and it's just country sending the best of the best. And I believe Guam has amazing talent to offer to go to that scale, and achieve great progress and just grow from there and grow the community from there, and just really put us on the map.
Is it the same types of games that on Ken's esports program up at UOG is working with, Eric? Because like I know it's a lot of sports games, a lot of fighting games and everything. Globally, it's pretty consistent throughout the world.
For the most part, yeah. There are other events outside with other federations, organizations in other countries. They focus on varying titles because the array of esports, it's vast, it's very diverse, it's very inclusive. And so the only titles that, or at least for this year, they announced was Dota 2, PUBG Mobile, Street Fighter 5, and eFootball. It's a game by Konami.
Oh, nice.
But the events that we're taking part in, that we're holding trials for, is Street Fighter 5 and Dota 2. And so these titles change. They are actually. So they held an event earlier this year in April, the Global Esports Games. They held it in Brazil, and that was one of the first Pan Am events to happen. So they had racing games. There's things for, I believe, Forza, a game called Forza, that's happening in the European gaming circuit. And these events, they're happening so often. The opportunities are endless. It's just a matter of getting the invite, growing the community, and putting feelers out there for the local community.
Okay, guys. So for people that whose appetites are now like properly wedded for it's like, hey, I want to represent my island. I want a chance to join up with the esports program at UOG because it's got such an amazing reputation at this point after only a year, right? What do people have to have? What do they have to bring? And what are you guys looking for in the perfect candidate for the people that can represent Guam?
So go ahead, Eric. You can...
No, go ahead, Ken. Please take this.
So yeah, gamers are so polite, man.
Well, obviously they have to meet, like, and Eric said, and this is, we have a deadline to pick these guys. So this is why it's important that the tryouts come out when they do. And as Eric had mentioned, obviously there's eligibility requirements, but past the eligibility requirements, we are looking for athletes who are passionate and dedicated to the focus, just like in traditional sports. Eric alluded to this, but gaming, the infrastructure to support the training of an esports athlete is inexpensive in the greater scheme of things than a traditional sport, right? So if the athletes have the potential to reach this critical 1%, why not give it all the support we can? Because it won't cost us an arm and a leg, right? So we're hoping that in exchange for these opportunities to grow as a player, that the player themselves is dedicated and focused and proud to represent Guam, right? They have to have a strong sense of character and just dedication to their craft, because we want them to be, an Olympian, right? Like an esports Olympian, if you will, right?
Yeah, so to speak, absolutely.
So Eric, they're ambassadors for us and our culture, right?
Yes, absolutely. Ambassadors for the island, for the region, and it's such a great honor to be in that position. It's definitely a position of pride to represent Guam.
Absolutely. Okay.
And an exciting opportunity.
So. Right. So okay. So everybody, I mean, I know your wrists are properly like all toned and everything because you guys are playing those controllers all day. But if you want to play, I'm the only person who ever described wrists as being toned, right? Clearly, I did not major in physiology at UOG, right? But if, like Ken was saying, if you want to check out the UOG tryouts, it's esports.uog.edu. Eric, if people want more information about the national tryouts, where should they go?
Absolutely. So we are on Discord servers. We are on Discord server, but then you can also check us out on Instagram on Guam Esport Federation. It's going to look pretty bare because we're very young, and you know, but yeah, or just email us at guamesportfed@gmail.com for any inquiries, and we'll respond.
But you know what? Those esports athletes who have the distinction of passing the tryout and like completing the test, they will go down in history as the very first contingent to represent us internationally, and that's worth its weight in gold 1,000,000 times over.
Absolutely, it's huge. It's very exciting for the community.
All right, so congratulations to you guys, boys, man. So Eric Blas and Ken St. Nicholas, esports alive and well on Guam and branching out to the rest of the world.